Right folks, I wanted to share something with you, something which has been on my mind for a few months now. Now you will notice that I'm wearing my Tilley hat. It's the model is the Outback. Love this hat. It's a nice, sturdy, very well made hat. I like the colours, it fits me very well, it fits me perfectly actually. I like the size of the brim, you know, I like virtually everything about it. It's not waterproof, but it does resist water to a certain degree. But if it's absolutely tipping it down, it's going to saturate basically. Now, one of the attributes, one of the features of this hat and all Tilley hats is the fact that inside you have what they refer to as a sort of secret pocket. I think it's fair to say that realistically, there's nothing sort of secret about these pockets. Anybody knows anything about Tilley hats know there's a pocket in one of these, and quite frankly, as far as I know, most of the models of hat, hiking hats, that sort of thing, they also have these sort of pockets inside. And to be fair, it's useful to have them. Now, these hats do actually have a foam insert inside, but I've taken mine out because I find that last time I wore this actually, it was quite warm and it made my head sweat a bit. The point of having the foam inserts is that if, for example, it gets blown off your head and ends up in water, lake, river or whatever, it will float. That wouldn't be a major thing for me, so that doesn't particularly bother me. So it just got me thinking as to whether or not you can actually utilise that space within this hat more effectively. And I was wondering whether or not it would be possible to, use it to store a small survival kit. So anyway, I've given it thought, I've put a few things together, I just wanted some feedback from you guys. I'll reset the camera and I'll get back to you. So, if we separate this Velcro, we have a pocket. I'm just going to sort of pull out one or two things which I've actually placed in there. Just going to stick them in there for the moment. As you can see, you can actually get quite a bit of stuff in here actually. And the thing I would point out is the fact that this stuff here, it doesn't weigh a lot, and also because it lays flat, it doesn't stick in your head. Anyway, let's just zoom in and show you what I've got. So I actually formulated this little kit on the basis of the 5 C's. So the first C, well, they're not in any particular order, but one of the C's is a cutting tool. Then you've got combustion, cordage, cover and container. So how are we going to deal with this then? So in terms of the combustion side of things, I've put together a little fire kit. So what have we got then? So there we go. So what you can see, look, in here is I have some cotton wool balls soaked in petroleum jelly. I have a little bit of rubber, so it's the inner tube of a bicycle. And I also have, if I can get to it, looks as if it might be a little bit, oh, it's actually on the other side, look. So, on here, try not to cut myself, but we have a blade just basically stuck to the side of this and protected using this duct tape here. As you can see, I suppose one of the shortfalls is the fact that it will tear this here, so I might need to have a look at that. So anyway, cotton wool balls, a section from the inner tube of a bicycle, we have a cutting blade, and also you will also see that we have if I can get to it, where is it? Yeah, a very small ferro rod in there. So that covers the cutting side of things and the combustion. So, we should in theory be able to make a fire with what we've got here, and we'll try that out in a bit. So, C for container. I'm sure that looks familiar to a lot of people. So that's a condom. And for all of those who have watched multiple YouTube videos, we all know that these are very flexible. They hold a lot of liquid. You can actually fill these full of water, use it as a container, and perhaps just to sort of give it more strength and support, stick it in a sock or something like that. That's what I decided to do for the other seat, which is container. We'll put that down there. Now, on the cutting side, another idea I came up with was it's a little wire saw, and this is actually quite a decent quality one. So we've got a wire saw in there, so if there was anything which you needed cutting down which was too big for the blade, then you could possibly use this. So we've got a wire saw, and if that wasn't necessary, then you could perhaps replace it with something like a small fishing kit. So obviously any kit needs to be tailored to the individual, doesn't it? So I've put a little wire saw in there. You could make up a little fishing kit, something like that. What else have we got? Yeah, something I thought I'd just throw in there for what it's worth. I might put it on lanyard actually, my hat. A little light, yeah. And the reason it's in a bag is just to keep it waterproof. So we also have a light. Now, got some tablets in here. 2 paracetamol. So for example, you might fall over, sprain your ankle, something like that, hurt yourself in some way, and just need some temporary pain relief. And also here we have a couple of water tablets, for disinfecting water. Okay, so yeah, water purification tablets, that was the phrase I was looking for. So some tablets in there, they don't take up any space at all. They, I'm sure, would come in useful. And the other thing I put in here, and as I say, it's you just tailor it to your own use really, just a sheet of tin foil. So if the ground is very wet, you can perhaps just put this down just to make yourself a little fire. You can use it as a signalling device. I mean, that on a sunny day will act like a mirror. So I think that would be a good idea. And once again, you can fold this up to absolutely next to nothing. Okay. Now there was another C which I forgot to mention. That was C for cordage. So what I've done, I've removed the lanyard which came with the hat, and I've replaced it with paracord. This is proper paracord. It's got separate strands inside. So yeah, it's by no means perfect, but if you do need some cordage, then it may well be worthwhile swapping out what comes with the hat for some paracord. So I've just collected a few twigs of varying sizes and just put down a small platform to start the fire on. This is what I've picked up off the floor, so it's nice and damp. We're not going to have a huge fire. Well, assuming of course we can actually even get one going, just to see whether or not we can actually get a fire started with this little kit, and whether or not it does actually have any utility. So we're going to get out the cotton wool soaked in petroleum jelly. So that's what Vaseline is. So let's put that down there. Okay. Don't want to lose that. In fact, I'll actually prepare this pretty crap, so we can get some dry bits on there. So the only thing I'm concerned about is whether or not this flame expires before we have a fire. We'll soon see, won't we? Keep going, keep going. So I'm just going to see if this little saw's any good. Got a couple of bits of stick, look, which I'm going to use as handles to go through here. Put that in the pocket. Move around. So, to save my fingers, we're going to try this, okay? So I think technique certainly plays a part in fitness. So it definitely cuts, doesn't it? It's not the easiest thing I've ever used though. Nearly there. Okay, so got some tinder there. So it definitely works. A little bit concerned about that though. But you could always replace it with something else, couldn't you? Something a bit more substantial. So yeah, works. You definitely need something like this to feed through these loops. If not, you're going to wreck your fingers. Right folks, I just want to prove to you that this condom container will actually work. So I'm just going to reset the GoPro and we're going to pretend that is a puddle or something. Now if any of the neighbours are watching me, they'll probably think this is extremely random, but let them. I mean, after all, they're not survival experts, are they? So there we go, look. One condom. Boom. Okay, so let's fill it with water. Pretend this is a puddle. There we go, we're starting to collect a nice little bit now. All about technique. And so as you can see, you know, we're starting to collect a nice little bit of water in there. So to conclude then, do I personally think it's worthwhile trying to fashion a small survival kit and utilise this pocket in a Tilley hat? I think so, I think it's worth it. Obviously there are a number of constraints. The obvious constraint being size. You know, you're not going to have a full-fledged survival kit in here, are you? That's for sure. So you've got the size constraint, you know, you can only get a certain amount of gear in here. Also, you know, what you put in here really depends on whether it's going to affect your comfort levels of wearing the hat, and whether or not you're going to have so much crap in there that you just can't be bothered with it, or it gets in the way. I personally think that you know, just to have the basics really, just something to start a fire, perhaps some water purification tablets, a little blade. I think it's a damn good idea myself. So let me know what you think then. You know, can you improve the survival kit? Clearly it's going to have to be tailored to the individual needs of the person using it. So I'd be interested to have some feedback. You know, should I change out any of these options? What do you reckon? Get back to me and let me know. Thanks for watching.